Good morning, guys. This is Jason. Today I'm going to be reviewing my new Hoka Stinson's ATR 6 all-terrain running shoes. But instead I have in front of me first my Hoka Speedgoat 5s. This is the next generation of the Hoka Speedgoat series. And I've had this version for about 2 months now. It took some breaking in. The size is a little bit different from the traditional Speedgoats that I've had, in the sense that I had to order a size smaller. Of course, I ordered my regular size and had to send it back. I have a big foot, traditionally a size 15, which is the highest in the Hoka series, but this is actually a 14, so it's running a little bit shorter, but now with that size, it has fit great and does well. It was a little skeptical at first. I will say the toe protector, I've hit a lot of rocks. I don't know if that's better or worse than the 4 series. You get used to a certain shoe and it takes a while, but this is a plush shoe. It's been really good. I have my first 100 miler coming up in about 4 weeks. So, I've gotten this well broken in. Probably will be my go-to shoe, but I would like to have something to change out midstream, and so I got online and was looking at other models of Hokas to have a little bit more of a plush feel, because the feedback I got from my race is that everyone's feet are getting macerated. That's the word, macerated, on all of the rocky terrain. So I thought a shoe change, get some dry shoes on midstream would be nice. In addition, they say we're going to get wet. So I was looking and just purchased the Hoka Stinson's ATR 6 model. And so let's open up and see how these compare to our Speedgoats. First thing we notice out of the box, it's a big shoe. I've got a big foot, but that's kind of a given. But the main difference is, if you're looking at the comparison with the Speedgoat 5, you can really just tell out of the box that this has a lot more cushion. And that was the description as advertised. Now, I bought this thinking it was a trail running shoe. It was under the trail running category on Hoka. Looking a little bit more carefully this morning, after I got it and unwrapped it, I saw that it's called an all-terrain shoe, so meaning that you can run on both the street and the trails, whereas the Speedgoat is more of a traditional trail tread. The concern I have, I guess, with the Stinson is this big cavity, and I understand that's probably to reduce weight, give some flexibility, but I worry that I might be picking up rocks along the way. If you run in on-cloud shoes, you know that issue. At least for me, I tend to pick up a lot of rocks, and that adds weight. So with the larger shoe, as you might expect, comes a little bit more weight. The Speedgoats come in at 9.7 ounces, I believe. Excuse me, 9.3, whereas these are 11.7 ounces. So good, almost 1.4 ounces more to carry, and that over a number of miles can get pretty heavy. So I'm a little worried about that. I'm a pretty big guy, so I'm interested in the cushioning. I'm 6'3", 210 pounds. Normally not such a need, but for a 100 miler, all the cushion you can get would be helpful. But carrying an extra ounce on each foot plus could add up after a while, so I don't plan on wearing the Stinsons the entire time. But looking at the shoe cavity, I'm super impressed with the foam. That's going to be running on a Serta mattress or something. It's going to be very plush. That feels very cushiony. The spring coefficient, which that Hoka provides on their websites, indicates that this has a lot more spring in it. I have a 14 miler to run today, so after I get back, I'll give a review on just how well this worked. I'm going to be more on Forest Service roads today. It's a little bit, September's always snake season up here, so I tend to stay on the service roads during that. And so we'll see how we do. It shouldn't be too technical. See how these plush babies do, and I'll report back this afternoon. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm back. I had a 2.5 mile walk with the dogs in town to kind of break the shoes in, and then did a little over 14 miles on mountain service roads. Rocky terrain, but not, technical necessarily. There was a little bit of pavement, maybe a half mile total of pavement. And I'm really pleased with the new Stinsons. I was concerned, as I talked about earlier, about the tread and whether it would gather any rocks. You can see it's got a cavity here, and sometimes that will cause shoes to pick up rocks. That didn't happen today, which is good. Maybe in mud I could see it gathering, but doubt it. Likewise, I went over some good Scrabble and had great traction the whole day, so I was pleased with the traction. And on the pavement, these felt really good as well. Overall, I'm happy. The Stinsons, as compared to the Speedgoats that we talked about earlier, have a 5mm heel drop. The Speedgoats are at 4mm heel drop. When I first started, I was feeling it in my calves. That may have been due to earlier runs in the week. I've had a pretty good training week. But after the first 2 or 3 miles, the calves loosened up, and I was able to get a nice midsole to heel strike, which for me is a big deal. I tend to be a toe runner, and so I appreciated that I was moving toward the middle to back of my foot and getting the advantage of all that great cushion that the Stinson has to offer. With that, I also felt like I had a very straight foot stride today, rather than any pronation. I'm not really good about the technical pronation aspects, but my foot seemed to be very in line, moving straight and not twisting. And overall, it was a great run, so that was a positive. I did add my Dirty Girls. Again, I wasn't really on technical terrain, but I hate to have a rock get into the shoe and slow down the run. With Hokas, you have to add the Velcro to the back. Unlike my Brooks trail running shoes, come with the Velcro already on there. For Hokas, we have to stick that on, sometimes super glue it. Just stuck it on today and it held very well. The shoes were clean. Sometimes I forget to do that. Today I'll also, given the cushion, I ran in the new Hoka socks that I bought along with this. There was a 3-pack. These are a little bit thinner than I normally run in. They're designated left, right. I love the fact that they put L and R on these so that you know which foot to go on. For those of us who are visually optimized, if you want to call it that. So these are a little bit thinner than I usually run in. I usually run in an Injinji system with a liner and then a pretty heavy wool cover, Injinji wool oversock that goes over the liner, and that is a little more cushiony. And I didn't need the extra cushion today necessarily, but I probably will do that the next time out, because my right foot is about a half size smaller. My right foot felt like it was moving around a little bit, and I had these laced up. This is a left shoe, but I had them laced up pretty narrowly. With my large foot size, the shoe tends to get pretty wide. The shoe tends to get pretty wide, and even though I'm lacing them up tightly, I can still have some slippage on my right foot. So I'll probably go back to the thicker sock. Really don't need it as far as the cushioning aspect, but just to give me a more tight fit, I think would be ideal. As far as the weight of the shoe, we mentioned earlier that this is 1.4 ounces more than the Speedgoat. So the Stinson is 11.7 and the Speedgoat is 10.3. I really didn't seem to notice that today during the run. These were super springy and cushiony. I had one of the best runs I've had in a while, so super happy in that aspect. So overall, I'm excited about the Stinsons. I'll continue to use the Hokas, and again, the Hokas I anticipate, they're all Hokas. The Speedgoats for the more technical aspects, but these will be nicer, especially on the Forest Service roads. I only kicked one rock today. I feel like the toe box sits a little higher. The Stinsons just have an overall higher profile, and the toe is a little bit higher, and then the rubber toe protector seems a little bit better on the Stinson. So I kicked one rock. It didn't hurt, and that's ideal. And again, one today is pretty good compared to me because I usually trip a few times while I'm out there. So super happy. Stay tuned for more of these. I've got, next up is going to be a review of my new Marmot jacket, rain jacket, which I'll need during my 100-miler. It hasn't rained yet since I've gotten it, so I haven't gotten a chance to test it out, but that will be next up on the next series. If you like this, please click thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Take care.